only grace, his mercy, and his angels of protection. A million little miracles. And so as we began to think about this Thanksgiving season and your song of thanksgiving, I don't want you to thank him for what he did for me. I can do that myself. I want you to thank him for what he's done for you. But what does the psalmist say? How does the psalmist say you can have a song of thanksgiving? He says easy. He said the first thing is you got to look at his workmanship. Say workmanship. Watch verse 4. He says, for you, Lord, have made me glad through your work. I will triumph in the works of your hands. You missed it, didn't you? The psalmist said, you have made me glad when I look at what your hands have done. Watch verse 5, it'll put it in context. Oh Lord, how great are your works. Your thoughts are very deep. Verse 6, a senseless man does not know. He says there's a difference in the one who can praise and thank you and the one who can't. He said because the ones who can praise and thank you can look around and say, that ain't going to discover it, because while God did make more planets, he said there's only going to be one that I'm going to put my spirit on. There's only going to be one that I'm going to dip down in the sand, and I'm going to take the mud and make man and breathe in him to the breath of life, and man shall become a living soul. And when people say, well, what happens if they discover aliens? Well, I can look at these 66 books and they ain't seen no aliens. So the only thing they're going to discover, if they get high enough in the firmament, they won't find no aliens, but they might just find some angels that are being dispatched from heaven to take care of God's business. Is there anybody in here that understand that God's works are above our works? The psalmist says his thoughts are deep. Long before we ever knew what we were in need of, God wrote the script at the end of your life, and then he backed it up and said, I'm going to have to give them some joy right here, because they're going to have some pain and sorrow. I'm going to have to give them some hope right here, because they're going to have some depression and despair. I'm going to have to give them some strength right here, because they're going to feel like they have no strength. And right here, I'm just going to have to carry them through, because their strength, their hope, and their joy won't carry them, but I can. Is there anybody here that don't trip on what happens in the course of a day, because you know that God already made the day, and the one who made the day know that work together for the good of them who love God. He said all things work together. I don't understand it now. It's hard to comprehend now. It's painful now. It's frustrating now. It's depressing now. It has me stressed out now. But all things work together. So just because I don't understand it now doesn't mean he won't show me what he's doing. Some of us get so caught up saying, Pastor, look like the drug dealers living good, man. Look like the folk that don't come to church, cars cleaner than anybody. Get up there on Sunday morning, 9 o'clock, cleaning that car, detailing it from top to bottom. They be ready to go. And here I am, can't get my car detailed. I got to come to church. If I just didn't come to church, I'd be riding a clean car. And then you look around and say, them folk don't never go to church. Don't never acknowledge God. Like they getting a new car every year. Like she getting promoted and he getting more business opportunity. How is it that the enemy flourish? You have to wonder sometimes, how is it that these things happen? He said, but that's the fool. And if you look at the way the wicked prosper, it might make you faint. It might make you lose heart. But be of good courage. God said, don't worry. For the wicked shall grow up. But it's just so when I cut them down, they're cut down forever. Our wisdom says that we don't get caught up in the things of the world. Because if you started measuring the faithfulness of God based on your bank account, you're going to be wondering if God is faithful. But you don't measure the faithfulness of God on your bank account. Measure the faithfulness of God on whether he's taking care of you. Because he never promised you your bank account will overflow, but he did say, I will meet all of your needs. How do you have a song of thanksgiving? A song of thanksgiving because not only do you look at his workmanship, but you got to use wisdom. Thirdly, he says, and you got to realize the plot of the wicked. Watch verse 8. Watch verse 8. But you, Lord, you are high forevermore. For behold, your enemies, right? The bigger the horn, the more powerful the ox. The more powerful, the bigger the horn, the fewer enemies would even mess with the ox because they knew that they would get hit with the horn. He says, but you have made my horn to the enemies look bigger than theirs. Then he says, and I know sometimes I feel it's all over them. I look like they were going through stuff so bad that they ain't going to make it long. Let me go ahead and let me pull out my black dress. Let me get ready to go down to the church house because I know it's almost over for them. The very same people that were getting ready to come to your funeral are the same people that are going to come to your party and they're going to say, I thought we were going to be celebrating by days and I won't complain. So I'll just lift my hands and say, thank you, Lord. Thank you for the rainy days. Thank you for the sunny days. Thank you for the hills I had to climb. Thank you for the valleys. Thank you for the mountains. Thank you for the blessings. Thank you, Lord. After all the things I've been through, I just want to say thank you. Is there anybody in here that just want to tell him thank you? Thank you, Lord. You've been better to me than I've been to myself. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, sir. If the truth were told, I was too mean to live, one fit to die, on my way to a burning hell. But thank you for saving me. Y'all excuse me just a minute, I gotta go ahead on it. Lord, I thank you, and Lord, I thank you for my journey. Lord, you brought me from a long, long way. And we're glad to be in the service one more time. Terry Yvonne, you move out the way so Emma Terry can get a little space because she want to do her dance. Go ahead and do your dance and let the Lord know that you're glad that he's been so good. You're glad he's been so kind. Hey! Somebody said it don't quite take all that, Pastor. It don't quite take all that. You got to tell them, listen, when I was in the world, I would get on the dance floor and I would dance from the time the club opened to the time it closed. But I ain't stopped dancing. I just changed partners. And when I get happy, I'm like David. I'll dance and I'll dance. Find one more David and say, he told me to tell you. Everything gonna be all right. Yeah, 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 yeah. Y'all let that go. Y'all let that go. Y'all let that go. He told me to tell you, it's going to be all right. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what you've been through. But he told me to tell you, it'll be all right. Because he's done more. Get your gifts in your hand. Let's recite our giver's confession together. Father, empower me to bless your kingdom. Your word declares that you will give seed to the sower. I will give you nothing from my pocket that did not come from my heart. All I have is yours. I will honor you with the first fruits, and I will